So I'm going to give you a brief synopsis, similar to what we've released earlier today. So last night at about 8:45 p.m., Detective LeVar Gilbert, who was working in an undercover capacity in the area of Orchard Street and Rivet Street, was struck by gunfire. The bullet penetrated through his driver's side window and struck him in the face. Detective Gilbert proceeded to transport himself to St. Luke's Hospital. He radioed that he'd been struck, pulled up to the front, and was immediately given emergency care. So Detective Gilbert remains at St. Luke's Hospital. Thankfully, he's in stable condition, and we pray and think of him and all hope for a speedy recovery. So the investigation, as you know, is ongoing. I won't be able to speak in great detail to that, as you can imagine, but I would like to thank Detective Gilbert for his commitment to be on the street every single day, and again last night, performing his duties. And really, each member, men and women of the Bedford Police Department, they do on a daily basis, and have this risk to ensure the public safety. One thing we can ensure is that that neighborhood, Goulart Square, Orchard Street, Rivet Street, we're confident that this was a random act of violence, and we don't see any fear of retaliation or anything of that such in that neighborhood. So again, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Mayor John Mitchell.
All right, thank you, Scott. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We put out some information about this matter last night, as well as this morning. We wanted to make sure by the end of the day we're getting everybody the information they needed and were entitled to. First off, I just want to say that LeVar Gilbert is doing well, remarkably. It was an extremely close call, and we talk about matters of inches. This was much less than an inch in terms of its risk of doing much more damage. And so he's recovering, and we are, more than anything else, grateful for that. I want to say that I greatly appreciative of the work that our department does every day, but what has been on full display in the last 12 hours or so, almost 24 hours, I suppose, has really impressed me, not only as the mayor, but as a former federal prosecutor. I've seen a number of different types of investigations unfold over time. This is an investigation that has been given a concerted and thorough and very skillful effort, headed up by our police department, by our chief, Paul Oliveira, and we're grateful for the assistance of District Attorney Tom Quinn, the Mass State Police, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms as well. And so it's a team effort, and I can tell you that it is extremely active at this point. It is an investigation that has a number of active leads that are being pursued, and that we have a high degree of confidence that we're going to be apprehended those who are responsible for it. I do think it is important for everybody to understand that the public can play a role in it. So if you have information about who may have been involved in this, we need you to come forward. And it's not to say that law enforcement is groping in the dark. They've got leads and they're working their leads, but it is always more helpful when folks in neighborhoods, whether it's in the Goulart Square neighborhood where this happened, or anywhere else in the city, or anywhere else in Greater New Bedford, if you've got information, please bring it forward. You can call the New Bedford Police Department's tip line. They're available, but we want to make sure that we're getting all the evidence that we need to put together a strong case and bring this person to justice. With that, I'll turn it back over to Lieutenant Carolla.
Thank you, Mayor Mitchell. I'd like to turn the podium over to District Attorney Thomas Quinn now.
Thank you. Good afternoon. First and foremost, as was mentioned, thoughts are with Detective Gilbert, who was injured and certainly could have been killed based on what took place last night. This highlights the danger that police face in their communities on a daily basis. He's there doing his job, protecting the public, and is the victim of a very serious crime that could have been fatal. I'm very pleased that the joint law enforcement effort involving the Bedford Police Department, state police, federal agencies who are now working together, investigating this case and bringing the individual involved to justice. I think that's very important to know that the agencies are working together as part of a team to bring a number of, as I said, investigative agencies together. There are several prosecutors working on this case closely. The case is in its early stages. It is concerning that the conduct that goes on throughout the country, this is another example, just jeopardizes the lives and safety of people on a regular basis in an intentional way and often in a wanton and reckless way. This particular area, the south end of the city, it's a summer night. It's a Rivet Street is a very busy street. There are people around, could be on their doorstep. So anytime shots are fired, it's just very concerning and just not acceptable. So the investigation is ongoing. Like any investigation nowadays, technology will be an important part of this. Various agencies are working around the clock. Any shooting is serious, but this is, when an officer is shot, is particularly concerning. People trying to enforce the law and protect us on a daily basis. So we're going to continue to work this case very much. It's not in the early stages of investigation. There's limitations on what can be said that can compromise the investigation. So we're all working in this together, and hopefully we'll bring about justice in this case.